All right, we're fucking ready for today, boys. Get fucking. I just thought a second. But oh, yeah, how did that look, bro? Did it look good? Yeah, I think it looked good. Yeah, the moonwalk was kind of whack. I didn't expect my fucking slides to get stuck. I can't even laugh. Wake up! It's 7 in the fucking morning, and I need you guys to be paying attention for today, ladies and gentlemen. It's 4 a.m. David, wake up. Wake up. Oh my God. Yeah, type. Let me see. Let me see. I'm actually very curious of this right now. All right. What do you guys think of my dance moves? Are they fire? Are they ass? You know what? I gotta step it up. Oh, really? Well, clearly there's a lot of division here. When you know when this guy has curly hair, he's about to cook up some fire. You already fucking know. All right, you already know. I mean, oh, you didn't see the dance moves? Ah, man, you should have pulled up. You should have pulled up. So clearly, there is some division here. Interesting. Some people say fire, some people say ass. You know what? I'm gonna make up for it. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna make up, and I'm gonna show you guys what I'm capable of doing. Haters, we got haters everywhere. No, I don't drink coffee. I can't remember the last time I drank coffee. Like, literally, I don't drink coffee at all. All right, cool. Let's get started. Let me share my screen. Um, what do we have here? Boom, boom. All right, so Euro JPY yesterday, so we were obviously interested in taking this trade and executing it to the upside. So trade has continued to go in our direction. Everything working out perfectly fine. So to at this very point right now in the position, we are up a 1-1. So for example, if you risked $100 inside of the red here, now you are officially up about exactly how much you have risked, which is good, which is cool. But that is not where you're going to become profitable. You're going to become profitable when you close out the trade at a minimum of a 1-2, which is risk to reward, blah, 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 and all this stuff that we're going to talk about later. So this trade right here was taken at a level of support that used to be resistance. So today, and exclusively today, we're going to talk about how a level of resistance works, how a level of an area of interest or a key level works, and a round psychological level. So this is what we're going to be talking about today. Obviously, if we have plenty more time, I have plenty of more topics to talk about. I just want to go one thing at a time. How a resistance works. And so these are going to be the three topics for today. Alex, the trend is bullish. We ignore the lower time frames to sell. OYS, don't worry about it. We're going to get into that later into the 30-day boot camp. I am recording the session. Yes, I am recording. So if you guys are ready, type 1. If not, type 2. Travis said, I'm still recovering from my L from yesterday. You best believe it, bro. You had one chance and you damn blew it. I'll tell you that right now. What order do you do the top down analysis? Stop it. Okay, cool. All right, sick. This guy. All right, so let's get started. So how a resistance and support works. So kind of how I was mentioning to you guys yesterday, no, like last week, a level of resistance is when something reaches the roof, and a level of support is when something reaches the support. So it's being held up by that level, and then a resistance is being pushed off by that level. So a level of resistance is what pushes price down, but that same level of resistance can then be used as support to continue to push price up. Now, this always isn't as perfect and as precise as this is right here. Sometimes it is a little bit further and it is a little bit closer, it's a little bit under. How a level of resistance and support works, it's a zone within the market. It's never going to be an exact line where the market's going to have an exact move and an exact reaction from that point. That's not how it works. Now, there is examples of that, and there is many of market movements that will have a rejection from the resistance and from the support exactly to the point, but that's not the reality of the market. Usually it'll look something like this on the bodies, because the level of I skipped the stuff. I knew it. Look at it right here. No, I'm doing yeah, I did it completely wrong. Delete all this. We're gonna start off with how market structure works. Now, this is gonna make a lot more sense based off of the order. So, how market structure works, huh? Type 1 if you know what market structure is, type 2 if you don't. So disregard it like those first 2 minutes that I just talked about. Okay, so you guys know what market structure is. You guys know exactly what it is, which is going to be the price action. Now, type 1 if you think you know how it works and how to spot it. Type 2 if no. Okay, good. That's what I want to see. Amazing. Perfect. So this is going to be very easy. I just need you guys to pay great attention to this, because market structure is about to be everything that we do. If you notice, this level that I was just marking off right here of support and resistance was being used by market structure. Market structure is everything in the market. It equals the life of the market. And the life of the market is based off of these elbows and these triangles. These elbows and these triangles, whatever it's better for you to identify them, is going to be the exact point where you're going to constantly look at the market to understand if it's bullish or if it's bearish. So how market structure works is by creating these elbows, these triangles, these pizzas, whatever want to help you understand it. It's going to create to you a bullish market or a bearish market. This is going to be so crucial that you know how to spot these correctly. So today I'm going to teach you how to identify or how to spot a bullish market or a bearish market. Now, everything in between this market is not market structure, because if you notice, market structure has to be an elbow. There is no elbow in here. There is no triangle. So there's no market structure on this specific time frame. When we zoom in, let's say to the 30-minute, the 30-minute is going to look like this. When you zoom in, you're going to see more market structure. Well, then there's different market structure points on the 30-minute itself. There's going to be a lot more. But on this exact time frame that we are looking at right now, these are the market structure points. So bullish market is consisted of higher high and higher low, which is short for HH and HL. HH equals higher high, and HL equals higher low. A bearish market is equal to lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Now, I want to write it down because I want to make it very clear from this very moment right now. And I'm going to literally type it because this is so fucking important. It is impossible to have a bullish market without a higher high or a higher low. It is impossible to have a bearish market without a lower high or lower low. There can be absolutely no confusion when it comes to this right now. A bullish market is consisted of higher high and higher low. A bearish market is consisted of lower high and lower low. These are going to be key points in the structure, and I'm going to teach you how to identify them right now. Don't worry. But I want you to know, and for you to have absolutely no confusion, it is impossible to have a bullish market without a higher high, and it is impossible to have a bearish market without a lower low. Same way how it is impossible for you to surf a wave without the fucking ocean. You need the ocean to surf the wave. You need the ocean to tell you it's going east or it's going west. It's impossible for you to surf a wave without it telling you what it's doing. Like, not even for a strategy point. It's just impossible. You cannot surf the ocean without a wave. There's nothing to surf. Like, literally, there's nothing. It is impossible. It is impossible for you to have a bullish or a bearish market identified without a proper higher high or higher low. You can't just come to this market just because you think of this shit. But like, yeah, this shit's bullish. Or yeah, this shit's bearish. Well, why the fuck? Where is the high? If it's bullish, show me the higher high, show me the higher low. Oh no, there's no higher low on a bullish market. You're lying. It is impossible to have a bullish market without a higher high and a higher low. If you cannot spot and identify a higher high and higher low on this market, you are completely incorrect by saying that it is bullish. If you call this bearish, but you can't mark off a lower high or a lower low, you are wrong. You're lying because it is impossible to have a bearish market without a lower high or lower low. Make sure that you write this shit down. You put it on a sticky note in front of your computer. You look at this every single day. Because by just you identifying this right here correctly, you are going to be able to understand 90% of what traders don't understand. And that is how to read the market correctly. Is it bullish or is it bearish? This is when now we are officially going to begin the technicals. And we're going to start by the damn most important thing inside of this whole entire bootcamp, which is how to read the markets correctly. Support, resistance, entry signal, sessions, round psychological, top-down analysis, all that is bullshit aside from this, because all that is based off of the foundation of market structure. If the foundation of you reading the trend of the market is wrong, everything else you do from that point forward is pointless. If you don't go to the ocean and then make sure that there's a fucking wave, you can have the best surfboard in the world, the best wetsuit, the dreadlocks, the wax surfboard, and it's all bullshit. It doesn't mean anything because there's no fucking waves. What are you gonna go surf? Nothing. A dream. Saying they're gonna be this fucking like that's literally gonna be you. There's no waves, you can't surf it. You can only trade correctly when you've identified the bullish and the bearish market correctly. This is the most important thing. Forget about learning anything else. If there's something you want to learn or relearn if you're an experienced trader, trust me, this is it. Do not go over this right here. So if you guys are ready, type one. If not, type two. Perfect. I want to express the importance of this. Perfect. Let's get into it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So now I want to ask you guys a question, right? Let me delete all this right here. Is this market bullish or bearish? Please let me know. Bullish or bearish? Let me add something to this, right? Actually, I'll add it after. Okay. Okay. Keep it going. Keep it going. Okay. Okay. Please fill out the poll real quick because I just want you guys to see. Take your time. Take your time. All right. We need 20% more to fill out the poll. Okay. So currently there is a 70% that claims bullish and a 30% that claims bearish. Okay. 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 Now, remember the question that I asked you guys. All right. This is what I asked you guys, right? Okay. Cool. 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 Okay. Is this market bullish or bearish? Okay. You can fill out this poll as well. Did I show the stats of the last one? Yes or no? No? Yes. No. Well, no, I don't fucking understand. Whatever. Okay. Well, let's look at this one, right? This one, 99% claim that it's bullish, and then the other one, 70% claim that it's bullish. Okay. Interesting. Falling right for the trap. Okay. Now, is this market bullish or bearish? Please fill out the poll as well. Okay. Let me change my answer. That's not how this works. Once you voted for Kamala, you voted for Kamala. That's it. That's it. You got no outs. You only got one vote. All right. Now these are the stats for this one. 50% claim bullish and 50% claim bearish. Now, let me just turn off the chat for 1 second. So, if you noticed, I asked you guys one simple question. Is it bullish or is it bearish? And if I were to add the option of is it ranging, is it choppy, I would probably get another 20% that would shift their answer towards that. And that's not the question that I'm asking you. I'm asking you, is this market bullish or bearish? A ranging market could have bullish and bearish structure inside of it. So I just want to kind of drop that in there to right now. We're going to come back to that in just a second, but I want to attack all of these points right now. This market that we just analyzed right now is indeed bearish. This market is not bullish. Just because you see movement to the upside and you just see price going up, it does not mean that the market structure is bullish. The market direction could be going up just because the chart happens to be going up. Let's say, for example, this pair is Euro USD. Just because this chart is up like high all the time, it just means that the euro has been stronger than the dollar over this time. But at this very moment, the structure is bearish. And I'm going to explain to you guys why in just a second. This example right here, this market is indeed bullish. Even though some people might claim that it is a choppy or consolidation market, it's what the structure of the market is doing. And this example right here is obviously very clearly bullish as well. Now, my goal and what I'm going to be doing for today's class is help you identify how easily you were able to spot this bullish, literally in a skip of a second. Markets like this, where you're going to be able to distinguish if they're bullish or bearish in a second. Markets like this, if you're able to distinguish if they're bullish or second. So before I do that, let's go back to what I mentioned here. Bullish market, higher high and higher low. Bearish market, lower low and lower high. It is impossible to have a bullish market without this. It is impossible to have a bearish market without this. Even inside let this be very clear. Inside of a ranging market, there is bullish or bearish structure, no matter what. You get a market that is like this. Yes, even though it is ranging, it is choppy, it is going sideways. That's not the question that I asked you. I asked you, what is the structure of this market? Is it bullish or is it bearish? If a market has elbows, and it has price action, which is this right here. This is what price action is. This is what is all that is needed to identify if the market is bullish or bearish. Yes, now this market could be choppy, sure, but the structure, is it bullish or is it bearish? That is what's going to be key. And again, more examples into this in just a second. I just want to drop that in there. So for those of you guys that have that confusion, you don't drag that throughout the whole entire topic that I'm going to be talking about, because I want you to focus on this very clearly. Now, what is a higher high and a higher low? Okay, let me actually start off with a simpler example. A market that creates a higher high and a higher low, it's when a market creates a higher high. And when you have a higher high, you must have a higher low. It is impossible to have a higher high without a higher low. So you can add that to your note here. It is impossible to have a bullish market without a higher high or a higher low. It is impossible to have it is impossible to have a new higher high without a new higher low. It is impossible. What do I mean by that? Okay. This market actively right now, this is the higher high. Go into here, we'll put higher high, and this is going to be the higher low. Why? Because this is going to be the higher low, the last higher low of the market. This is not a higher low. This used to be a higher low, and this is not a higher low. The simplest way to identify what is a higher high and a higher low is by using my friendly snake trick. So you identify the correct higher low by a snake. We've all seen snakes come in all different shapes and sizes. But if you know one thing, snakes, for them to move fast, this is how they ride around. When you see a snake that has done something like this and in his path has a little turn in it like this, you clearly know that he popped a U-turn there or whatever, right? I don't know, let's go to Google, let's find a snake. Snake moving. So for example, whenever a snake is moving, they're going to leave right now. That is a snake clearly going forward. But when a snake has just popped the U-turn or whatever, it's going to leave this little bend right here. So if you notice, each one of these bends is market structure because the snake was changing directions to get to the point where it is right now. So whenever it goes forward, it looks straight. Whenever it stops, it creates this market structure. Right here, this is very clear market structure. This is a market structure here, market structure here. Right here, it's in movement. There's no real market structure. So the head of the market is like the snake. It's constantly moving. This is the tongue, and this is the head. This is the body of the snake going basically straight. When you see this turn right here in the snake, that is where you know that now the snake has moved. Oh shit, I can't even draw here. That is where you want to see where the snake has moved and has been able to clearly let you know that it was stopped here at one point and now it is going straight. It is the same exact thing when it comes to the market. The market was stopped here at one point, and then now that it created the higher high, this now turns into the higher low. So if it's a little confusing, don't worry. It's about to make so much sense in 1 second. Now that we have this higher high and this higher low, the market decides to do this. Now, this right here is not a higher low because again, it is impossible to have a new higher high without a new higher low and vice versa. And I have to write this down because this is so important and you cannot forget. You cannot have a higher low without a new higher high. So this right here is not a higher low because you don't have a new higher high. This is the higher high. The only way you get a new higher high is by breaking this previous high. When you break this previous high, this now becomes the new higher high. And it is impossible to have a new higher high without a new higher low. So where is that higher low? Is it here? Is it here? Does it stay at the same spot? Well, let's bring out our trusty snake trick. We put our head, the tongue, so we know that that's where it's headed. And the moment that we see the snake body completely turn, that is going to be the higher low. That is the last point where the snake was slithering through and it decided to then have the shift to then head into a direction like that. The snake trick is the easiest and simplest way to correctly identify and understand the last higher low structure point. So again, let's say this market right now has a pullback to right here. This is nothing. This is not a higher low. This is not a higher high. We don't get a new higher high until we don't break above the last higher high. This market could come up to here and do this, right? What is that right there? What is it? What do you guys think that it is? Okay. Okay. Some of you guys wrong. Some of you guys somewhat right. 50-50. 50-50. Okay. Now, this right here is nothing. It's simply market structure. There's no higher high because we clearly haven't broken above the higher high. There's no higher low because we clearly haven't broken above the higher high. There is no lower low. There's no lower high. There's nothing. It is simply market structure. This market comes here and then it does this. What is this now? What do you guys think this is now? Correct. Incorrect. Okay. This right here is nothing. It is market structure. This is not a lower low. This is not a lower high. This is not a higher high. This is not a higher low. As long, and again, write this down. I'm not going to write everything down. I need you guys to write everything down yourself. So you hear it, you comprehend it, you write it down. Everything inside of the higher high and the higher low structure points without body closing above or under is simply market structure. As long as we don't close above or under, the market will remain bullish because this is the higher high and this is the higher low. And this is simply a market structure. All of this is market structure. This is not a higher high. This is not a new low. This is not anything. This is simply market structure. The moment we body close above, now we have broken out of the higher high. So we create a new higher high because we've very clearly broken out of it. And it is impossible to have a higher high without a higher low. So where is that higher low? Does it stay here? Does it go here? Does it go up here? Does it go here? Does it go here? This is where it was before. Well, if you don't know, pull out your trusty snake, put the head, put the tongue, and then just start slithering down. The moment it has a sharp turn, that indicates to you that's where the snake turned around and started going this way. So now this is your new higher low. And it is very fucking key important that you guys understand, even if it's something that small, that you make the adjustment. Something that small can completely change your trading direction from bullish to bearish. So this is now the new higher high and the new higher low. Once again, if this market decides to do something like this, make it all the way to right here without breaking under, making it all the way to right here without breaking under, decides to do all this, this is all market structure. This market is still bullish because we are yet to break above the higher high or under the higher low. Everything to this point, this market continue to remain bullish. Let's say from this point right here, we decided to break above. We have a new higher high. It is impossible to have a new higher high without a new higher low. And you cannot have a higher low without a new higher high. you're going to always want to first put the new higher high because it's clearly at the highest high point. And then the higher low you need to modify based off of where the snake trick reversed. So let me actually do a little poll here or let you guys pick. Which one is going to be the new higher low? Or option number 1, option number 2, option number 3, or option number 4? Please let me know in the chat. Okay. Very clear. Perfect. Perfect. So those of you guys that answer number 4, you're very much incorrect because, like I mentioned here, it is impossible to have a new higher high without a new higher low. You must have a new higher low for that. So if we pull out our trusty snake trick, we're going to go ahead and figure out what the hell is the higher low. This is the head. This is the snake. This is the body. We're going down. We're going down. Sharp turn. That is our new higher low. It is literally that fucking simple. That is your new higher low. This is your new higher high. And now you understand where the market is currently. We are bullish or we are bearish. If you guys understand everything up to this very point, type 1. If not, type 2. Trust me, this is the time you want to be paying attention. Can you show us in a real chart? Tranquilo. Hey, tranquilo, brother. Take your time. Don't rush this thing, brother. Take your time. We're going to go. Tranqui. Relax. We're going to get there. I promise. Don't you worry. So whatever the elbow before is the, yes. Fucking clarified confusion for months. Yes, I bet you were asking that question on day 1. But again, take your time. We're getting one thing at a time. Trust me, we're only getting started. How do you take weeks into consideration when it comes to identifying it? So again, I'm sure you guys have more extensive questions on things that I have not just talked about, and I get it. I understand. But let's ask questions about what I just talked about. I think to this point right now, I have proven the point that I will get to your question once we get to that topic. It makes it a lot easier on me going through the questions that are relevant to just the higher high and higher low. Please be patient. When it comes to the line chart and the candlestick chart, lower high, lower low, 2 can be different since candlesticks show. Confusing. You're confusing yourself. We're gonna make it very simple. When considering a lower high, do you consider? Okay, so kind of like how I mentioned. So the structure is gonna be done on the bodies. So don't worry, when we get to the charts, I'm gonna show you how to do it on the charts. Right now, I just need you to understand the foundation of the structure of how a proper high, high, and higher low is identified. Again, please be patient. Okay, so yes, this does apply to every time frame because every time frame that I'm aware of up to this very moment, it is based off of market structure. And every market structure has these higher highs and higher lows and has these elbows. So yes, this is literally on every time frame. Okay, great. So I know you guys understand this because it's damn near impossible to not. This is very basic, very standard. 90% of the traders don't even know how to do this correctly. So what happens if this happens? I mean, I don't know. I'm asking you guys. I have no fucking idea, right? I don't know what to do. No, you don't panic. You don't get confused. You don't lose your sidetrack. You don't go crazy. When this happens and the market body candlestick closes under the higher low, we are no longer bullish. So, where is it? When the markets, I want to write this down, and I shouldn't be writing it down. You guys should be writing it down, but I'm going to write it down for you guys because it's that important. So we're still in the bullish example. When the market breaks the higher low, we are no longer bullish. Shifted to a bearish market. So when the market creates, no, where is it? When the market breaks the higher low, we are no longer bullish. We have now shifted to a bearish market. So as of right now, this market right here is no longer bullish. We have now shifted bearish because it has body candlestick closed under this higher low. Body candlestick closed under this higher low. Body candlestick closed under this higher low. Gotta write it down, right? Because we're gonna have to come back to this. I can almost guarantee. Body candlestick closed under the higher low, not a wick. A wick is not a candlestick body, not a wick. We don't do this based off of the wicks. We do this on the bodies. Now I'm going to teach you how to do that later, but I want you to start engraving it and adapting it into your mind. So we have a bearish market. Does this stay as the higher high? And do we move the higher low here? We have a bearish market. Well, what does that mean? It is impossible to have a bearish market without a lower low or a lower high. Shit. Fuck. Where do we put a lower low here? Where do we put a lower high? How do we know what's real? How do we know what's not? Okay. Let's just think a little logically here. If this right here would have been a structure point, if it would have not broken under, and if it would have done this right here, and it would have just been a structure point and it hasn't broken above. And if it would have been here, it would just also just be structure point because we're just inside of the higher high and the higher low. This market is still bullish. This is just structure, right? There's a piece of structure, there's a piece of structure. The moment body candlestick close under, this is the most updated and latest version of the structure. The lower low simply goes to the lowest low. It goes to the head of the snake. Where is the snake headed? Now the snake is heading down. Now it's gonna go fuck over somebody else. Great, here we go. So this is the head of the snake. Okay, cool, easy. Now, if the head of the snake is heading down, we know that it is impossible to have a bearish market without a lower high or lower low. Shit. Right now, all we have is the lower low. Where do we put the lower high? Do we put it at 0.1? Do we put it at 0.2? Do we put it at 0.3? Do we put it at 0.4? Where do we put it? 0.1, 2, 3, or 4? I'm confused. What do I do? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, let's say you don't know how to do it. Fine, 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 fine. We use our snake trick. This snake is going, it's going, it's going. Boom, sharp turn. This is now the lower high. This is now shifted to turning into a lower high, and this is now the lower low. This snake trick is what helps us identify where was the last movement of the structure for that market. So now, let's say that currently right now we have done this. What is this? Structure, bearish, bullish, I don't know, ranging. This is simply market structure. Don't get scared. Don't get intimidated. If we don't body close above or body close under, this market is just market structure. We push to the downside. Shit. We broke under the lower low. Now we have a new lower low. Cool. This now becomes a new lower low. And now, where is the new lower high? Shit, new lower high. Well, again, it is impossible. So now we have to rewrite this. It is impossible to have a new lower low without a new lower high. Whenever you have a new lower low, you need a new lower high. It is impossible to have a new lower low without a lower high. All right, where's the lower high? I don't know. I just know this little snake trick. We'll start doing this. Dun, 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 dun. Boom. Big shift. This is now the lower high. And again, I know I'm making this seem very easy and very straightforward, but I'm telling you right now, 90% of traders can't do this correctly. And this is what 90% of trading is based off of, learning how to read this correctly. And I know I'm making it very simple. And now you're just like, oh, bro, it's so fucking obvious. Well, yeah, because you just learned how to do it correctly very easily after years of trial and error. But don't underestimate the power of this. It's not meant to be hard. It's not meant to be difficult to understand this. It's just like speaking a language. Once you learn how to speak Spanish, having a full fluent sentence was hard at first, or was impossible because you didn't know anything. But once you learn it, it's supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be fluent. It's supposed to be natural. It's the same thing here. And we've only been doing it for an hour. Excuse me. Imagine if you were to do it for a week or a month or a year or 5 years. That's where the power and the money lies. When you have time, do times power. If everything up to this point makes sense, type 1. If it doesn't, type 2. What if you don't look for a higher high and higher low? Well, what if you don't fucking wipe your ass after you shit? You're gonna walk around with a shitty ass. Well, it's gonna be the same thing here. You're gonna walk around with an unidentified shitty market. What fucking question is that, dude? Jesus. Fuck. Bro, some people just fucking respectfully, right? Jesus. So a lot of the answers right now, a lot of the questions, and again, I don't want you guys to start confusing yourself. There's a lot of like what ifs, like what if now it just goes like what if it just like goes like this? What if it just goes straight bullish? Don't stress it. Don't overthink it. It is literally the same fucking shit. If it just goes straight bullish, now you have a new higher high. And now you have a new higher low. You don't know how to identify the higher low? Easy. No problem. No problem. Easy. Solution problem. You get the head of the snake. You come straight down. You have the reversal. This is now the higher low. Very easy. And now if this market decides to continue to create bullish structure, this now continues to now be the new higher high. You do your little snake trick, and this is now the higher low. If we just shift directly bearish, this now becomes the new lower low because it's just shifted the market. And then if we were to do our little snake trick, this is where it reversed. This now becomes the lower high. Very easy, very self-explanatory. If all this makes sense, type 1. If it doesn't, type 2. Now, again, if you guys have extensive questions, please be patient. I will get to them when we get to the charts. Don't worry about it. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. Don't you worry. Could you please confirm if you could read my questions because you haven't answered my questions? Okay, here we go. Rachit. Fuck, I'm probably saying your name totally wrong. Please ask your question. Please. Please. I'm not gonna continue to I don't answer your question. I mean, I'm waiting. Is one opposite candle considered as a higher? Okay, great. So I'm glad that I identified you as that person, Richie. So you have a question about a candlestick. At this very moment, so your question is one opposite candle, is it considered a higher low for a higher high? At what point right now have we spoken about a candlestick? Zero. We're not talking about candles right now. So you asking this question leads me to understand that you understand how the market structure works. Now, the specifics on if it's a candlestick on the charts, that's the next point, brother. So I've been ignoring your question because it has no relevance to what we're talking about right now. Like 80%, 90% of the questions right now. You guys are understanding this so easily that you're ready to move on to the next point. So don't get mad if I don't answer your question. It's just because your question is not relevant to right now. You're asking a question about a candlestick. If it's one candlestick, is it considered the pullback? We're not talking about that right now. We're just talking about how to properly identify market structure. Now, the specifics, like I've said 1,000 times, we're going to get to that in just a second. Please be patient. Jesus. These be the guys that just go crazy on themselves because they're getting too ahead of themselves. You understand this so easily that you want to know the next thing. And I said this at the beginning, you guys are going to literally have this happen. This is going to be so easy. You want to go for the next and the next and the next. But this wasn't easy an hour ago. You didn't know this perfectly an hour ago. Now you do because you're taught it and you're ready for the next thing. You're making it difficult for me to move on to the next thing until we're not on the same page and then we can move on. If you said if the body closes through the higher high or the higher low or the lower high and lower low, what if it wicks? Does the wick count? JR? No, I believe I've been saying a body candlestick closure above. If this all makes sense on how these lines to properly understand the market structure is type 1, if not type 2. Should be very easy. I'm gonna have to watch this again. Sure, sure. Vineth, once again, I'll get to there in just a second. I'm reading through some of these questions. If this example goes from bullish to bearish, is it overall bullish? All right, so if this market goes from bearish to now bullish, is it overall bullish? No. This time frame, the structure of this time frame is just bullish. Just because one time frame is bullish doesn't mean that they're all overall bullish. Can we identify these levels on a line chart as well? Mark Kelly, don't you worry about it. We'll get to that in just a second. How we go into the charts and all that is when it's literally the next step. If you just give me a second, we'll get there. All right. So to my understanding, every single question that I'm getting to right now is Mark Kelly is definitely Irish. I don't know. I'm just reading one of like so right. Is that you guys roast each other without even knowing each other? It's so fun. So there's clearly no questions on how to correctly identify a bullish or a bearish market on the structure. Now, how we do it here is what's going to be the next topic. So for those of you guys that are being patient and you guys aren't waiting, thank you very much. For those of you guys that are being impatient, I'm glad that you understand and that you guys are ready for the next topic. So identifying, let's just go over this one more time. Let me just take all this off. Actually, I want to go back to that. Let me just refresh this real quick. And I'm sorry for everybody that I'm slowing down with having to baby these people that just want to get their questions answered, even though they have relevance to right now, because these are other people that blow up the support, and my support is driving me crazy. So I'm just trying to make sure that they're happy being told whatever already said, but it's okay. We're all here together on this. So before I go to the line chart, I want to go through one of these examples one more time. So now that you understand that this market is bearish, I want you to understand why it's bearish. So if you understand, let's say we start off from this point right here. So we're starting off from this market structure point. Actually, you know what? To not break a little bit of our rules, let's start off from this point right here. This point is the lower low. And this point is this is the lower high, and this is the lower low. This right here is the lower high. So this point right here, is it a higher high or a higher low? What is this point right here? Higher high or higher low? Correct. Correct. Almost caught you guys lacking. Correct. This point right here is nothing. It is simply market structure. Okay, cool. Oh shit. We just body closed above. What does that mean? That means that this now becomes the higher high. So let me actually move this to the left. So this now becomes the higher high. Now, where does the higher low go? Does the higher low go to point number 1 or point number 2? Okay. Okay. Now, if for whatever reason you can't properly identify it, you use this as the head, come back down, sharp turn. That is now going to be the higher low. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. This is now the higher low. This point right here. All right, let's keep it going. We keep it going, we keep it going, we keep it going. What is this point right here? Higher low or higher high? Nothing at this very moment. It is just market structure. Cool. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Oh, shit. Are we bearish or are we bullish? Okay. So we leave it here, right? Do we leave the higher high here or do we not? Do I move it down? The higher high? And then the higher low goes here? No. Obviously, if there's a new higher high, we move up the new higher high. Now, where does the higher low go? In point number 1 or point number 2? Ah, 1 or 2? Those of you guys that are saying 2, you're cooked. Neither. Do the snake trick. If this is the higher high point right here, do the snake trick, reversal. This is now the new higher low. So we move the higher low up to this point right here. We keep it going. What is this point right here? Nothing, correct. Just market structure. Keep it going. What is this market right here? What is this right here? Higher high, higher low, lower high, lower low. Nothing, correct. We keep it going. What about now? We got really close. That means we have to have shifted. We shifted. You're lying. We shifted, of course. Dude, we were so close. What do you mean? Of course we shifted. No, nothing. We didn't body candlestick close under. So there is no break of the higher low. So there's no shift of structure. So as of right now, if we have a higher high and we have a higher low, that means that this market is currently bullish. This market is bullish. So we keep going. Oh, shit. What does this mean now? A new higher high. Where does the higher low point go? On point number 1 or point number 2? Are you sure? Think about it. Think about it. Okay, you sure? All of you guys second guessing yourselves might have just bit yourself in the ass. I don't even know. That probably sounded terrible. Snake trick. Follow this right here. Boom. Hard turn. That is now the new higher low. You move the higher low up to this point right here. Cool. Higher high and higher low. We still are bullish. The snake trick makes it too easy. That's the whole point. We keep it going. Oh, what do we have right here? Is that a new higher high? Type 1 if yes, type 2 if no. New higher high, yes or no? This can make or break your whole entire analysis. That did not body candlestick close above. So it is not a break. This right here is a double top. This is an equal high. This is a resistance, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. At the end of the day, this did not break above, so it is not a higher high. Cool. It's just market structure. We keep it going. What is this? Type 1 for higher low, type 2 for higher high. Okay. For those of you guys typing either, you're so wrong. This is not a higher high or a higher low. It's nothing. It's market structure. Can't believe you fell for that. Jesus. We keep it going. Okay. Okay. What about now? Did that body candlestick close above? Indeed. Correct. This is now a higher high. Oh shit. Okay. Okay. We got a higher high. Now what? Now what? We have a higher high. All right. We keep going. So if that's the higher high, then we need to continue going to the right. So what is this right here? Oh, did I forget something? Did I forget something? You guys forgot something. It is impossible to have a new higher high without a higher low. You need a new higher low every single time you have a new higher high. So do the snake trick. This now becomes your higher low. You cannot have a new higher low or a new higher high without one or the other. They go hand in hand. Okay, let's keep it going. Oh shit, we have a new higher high. Do we keep it going? Correct. You need a new higher low. Where's the higher low? At point 1 or point 2? One or two? Well, I don't know. If this is the new higher high, let's do the snake trick. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, hard turn. That is the higher low. Some of you guys fell for the 1 and the 2, or you're just trolling. So the higher low gets moved up to the higher low. Okay, cool. We'll keep it going. Oh, shit. Body candlestick closure above. This now becomes the new higher high. And if that becomes a new higher high, what does that mean? That we get a new higher low. Okay. This becomes the new higher low. And what do we get here? A body candlestick closure under. The market shifted. Shit. What does that mean? That this market is indeed bearish. So this is the new lower low. To identify the lower high, we get the head of the snake. Boom, it reversed. That is the lower high. It is impossible to have a lower low without a lower high. So when we first analyzed this market and you guys looked at it, 50% of you guys thought it was bearish, 50% of you guys thought it was bullish. For those of you guys that thought it was bearish, I want you guys to know why it's bearish. It's bearish because of this last shift of structure right here, because of the lower high and the lower low. And for those of you guys that thought that it was bullish, just because this market is indeed overall up doesn't mean that the active structure of this market is bullish. So because the market, not trend, it's just because the market direction just looks like it's going up. It's been going up forever. Doesn't mean that the current structure is indeed following that. So if all this makes sense, type 1. If it doesn't, type 2. So the last candlestick is going to let you know exactly if the market is bullish or bearish. Yes, essentially. You guys see how easy it is, right? I see where I messed up. Yeah, don't worry. It's normal to mess up. That's why I tested you guys in the beginning, because I want you guys to come back to it now that you know, and you're like, holy shit, so easy. So very easy. You watch this recording 2-3 times and you'll perfect it. So I want you guys to now look at this market, and I want you guys to let me know, is this market bullish or bearish? Bullish or bearish? Okay. Now, those of you guys that are answering bullish or answering bearish, do you know why? Where is the lower high and where is the lower low? Correct. Some of you guys are correct. Take your time. So the correct way to do this and identify this market structure is going to be starting from here. This is the high. this is the higher low. The correct way to do it is like this. And then here you would, okay, this is the higher high, and this is the higher low. This is now the lower low. This is now the lower high. Excuse me, I keep burping. If the overall trend is bullish, but the current candle is bearish, market is now bearish. What if it continues to bullish on the other market shift? Jeremy, partner. We're not there right now. Once again, you're getting a little bit ahead of yourself, which is great. Please understand that you understand. But Jeremy, hold on to that. Hold on to that question. Put it in your pocket. Put it in your left pocket or in your back pocket. Or put it under your sock. Because trust me, we're going to get to that very soon once we get to the charts. Right now, we're just rehearsing once again the market structure. It is very important for you guys to master this. I will repeat myself 1,000 times a day because I rather repeat myself 1,000 times today than have to repeat myself 1,000 times in the next following days. I don't want to have to repeat myself. The only thing I would want to repeat is go watch the recording. I don't want to leave something out of this recording that you can't come back and rewatch if you have any questions or for whatever reason you don't understand. So I get it. You're ready for the next thing. And trust me, so am I. But there's a good 20-30% of the people in here that are not, that they get it right now because I'm here with them and I'm walking them through this and they get it because it's pretty damn near impossible to not get it. But the moment I leave, they don't get it anymore because they haven't understood it yet. It's going to take them quite some time to catch up to the simplicity of reading this because it's too easy to understand it to such a complicated thing, and for their mind to grasp the simplicity and adapt their mind to what they thought complex to now normalizing the simplicity is going to be the challenge. And I just want to make sure that in this recording, everything is there for them. So please just hang on tight. I'm going to repeat myself a little bit more just so it's here for them so they can come back and watch whatever they want. And then we're going to get into the charts. So Jeremy, thank you very much for repeating yourself 1,000 times. And I'm going to keep ignoring your question for now. Thank you. And colleagues just like him. So we understand that now this is the lower low and that this is the lower high. We keep it going. This is the lower low. This is now the lower high. We keep it going. Boom. This is now the higher high. This is now the higher low. Just follow along, right? If you guys follow along, you guys will see the speed that you can do this shit at. So if this is the higher high and this is the higher low, we keep it going. Boom. This now shifts. This is the higher high. This becomes the higher low. Boom. It shifts. This becomes the lower low. This now becomes the lower high. We keep it going. This right here, this shifted, this broke right here. So this becomes the new higher high. Do the snake trick, boom. This is the higher low. We keep it going. This right here is just market structure and everybody closed above or under. We keep it going. Boom. Body candlestick closed above the higher high. That makes this the higher high. Then this becomes the higher low. Keep it going. This, everything up to right now is just market structure. And then boom, we body closed under this line right here. So this now becomes the lower low. Do the snake trick, boom. This becomes the lower high. Amazing. Keep it going. Right now, this is literally nothing. It is just market structure. It is the same thing. This is the lower high, is the lower low. This market is currently bearish. We keep it going. Oh, what do we do? Do we count this as a higher high? Do we not count this as a higher high? What do we do? Fuck, it's such a small break. I don't think it counts. I don't think it counts. It's so small. Doesn't mean that it's anything. Wrong. If body candle closes above that fucking line, it shifts. If the market structure closes above that line, it shifted. Even if it's something that small. Remember, men, remember, gentlemen, something that small can go a long fucking way in the markets when you're taking any trade. Okay. So, yes, that counts as the new higher high. Where's the higher low? Do the head, the snake trick. This is now the higher low. Now, since that is the new higher low, you keep it going. Body candlestick closed under. This becomes the lower low. This becomes the lower high. We keep it going. And this market's over here. Body closed above. This becomes the higher high. Do the snake trick. Boom. This becomes the higher low. We continue. Let me see what we got right here. Okay. Did we body candlestick close under? We didn't at this point, but we did here. So this becomes the new lower low. And if this becomes the new lower low, this becomes the new lower high. If this becomes the new lower high, body broke above that new lower high. This is now the higher high, and this is now the higher low. Ladies and gentlemen, if all of what I just showed you made sense, please type 1. If not, type 2. Amazing. Amazing. Just to confirm. Oh, here we go. Thanks for ignoring my question. I just got to answer now. Thanks for acknowledging that. Thanks, bro. For real. Like that actually makes me feel amazing. The fact that you realize that your question got answered. I wonder what his question was. I don't care. I don't even want to know. It was probably the 2-inch example. What if it's a small break? I guess he understood it there. Do you always start from left to right? Correct. Yes, I'm going to teach you how far left you should go. Bro, I think I just have my aha moment. Oh, brother, dude, you're so far from that. Oh, I don't know where you are on your journey, but if this is your aha moment, Jesus, you're not ready for what's to come. So is that bullish or bearish? Oh no. What if we have equal highs? Hamiki, you just have an equal high. That's it. That's all that matters. Like, let's say right now this market is like this. Doesn't matter. It's just structure. Alex, say that price stayed between those 2 points of the highs and the lows, didn't break the structure for ages. Would you just move them to another pair as it's choppy? Kalum? Hawkins? Again, that question has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now. But to answer your question, yes. So again, I look for questions that are relevant to what the fuck I'm talking about right now. All right, cool. No lie, this is a very good way to test patience. Oh yeah, brother. My patience level test is all-time high. Like I'm in a trade right now, have like 100,000 or whatever I'm risking on this, and I don't even give a shit. I'm being more patient teaching this, you know. What is a higher high? Mike? Mike, you motherfucker. You motherfucker, Mike. All right. So, all right. If you guys understand market structure, hold on, let me just do this, right? Let me do a poll. So if you understand the market structure and how it works, as simple as we were doing it right now, and you're ready for the next phase of market structure, please let me know. If you're not, please let me know as well. Because really, like the only other thing that I can talk about right now is just repeating myself. There's really nothing else to it. And it's kind of like I told you guys at the beginning. It's going to be so easy that you're going to literally be like, is that it? What else? What's next? Okay, like, how do I do it now here? How do I do it here? How do I do it here? Well, that is exactly what this next topic is about. It's the continuation of this. So, for those of you guys that need more practice, it's not because I have to repeat myself more, because I can just repeat myself forever. It's because you guys need to go ahead and rewatch the recording and write things down. Go look for examples on your own. And I want you guys to be able to correctly spot the market structure correctly. So I can take this one of two ways, right? And let me think of how I can take this based off of what I see, right? So there's 4% that need more practice and they just need to watch the recording more. And 96 is ready for the next step. But so out of that 96% that are ready for the next step, 40% of you guys didn't know how to do this correctly an hour ago. Literally, you were wrong in an example that I tested you on this one. I asked if this was bullish or bearish, and you selected the wrong one. So 40% has now shifted to become part of the 90 in under 1 hour, which is great. But just because you know how to read it correctly doesn't mean that you're ready for the next step. You need to practice it. You need to see it more for yourself. And I'm going to show, let me think. It's a little bit different from last time, right? Because last time I think it was more people, like I guess there was a more batch of newer traders and they just wanted to, or maybe I got better at teaching. I don't know. Maybe I did. I'm going to move on to the next step, but it's not the full next step. I'm going to give you guys homework, and then tomorrow we're going to do the next step. Fair? Does that sound fair? Because I want this to sink in. I want you guys to really like sit down and like grasp it. So we're going to move on to an advanced point, but not fully the full next step. We're going to take it slow. We got plenty of time, guys. Plenty of time. Because if we get this very, very, very clearly, area of interest, key levels, all that shit becomes a walk in the fucking park. Perfect. Cool. So now that we understand that, let's do this. We're going to go to the chart, right? To this very chart right here. So Euro JPY on the 4 hour, for example. And I want you to go to the line chart. So again, here on your trading view, you have a star on the candlesticks and a star on the line chart. I want you to go to the line chart. And once you go to the line chart, I want you to go to the no gap candlestick and I want you to hide it. No gap candlestick, hide it, and only look at the line chart. No gap candlesticks, hide it, and you're only looking at the line chart. Now, I want you to get a healthy amount on your screen, right? Healthy amount, let's say about like this. I'm going to give you guys homework to do. And that homework is going to be for you to start from this healthy amount. You know what? I can't even say, I have to give you guys a precise time. So I need you to get onto your chart and from current price, go back 28 days. Go back 28 days in the market structure, which is basically going to start right here. And I want you to start right here with your lines. This is going to start off as a lower high, and this is going to start off as a lower low. Get your lines. Obviously here, it is very clear that it broke bearish first before it broke bullish. It broke bullish after it went bearish first. Like this high was created from this push. So you got to work backwards. Okay. So this is the lower low. If this is the lower low, then this becomes the lower high. If this is the lower high, then this then becomes a higher high. If this becomes the higher high, then this becomes the higher low. You keep it going. This is now the higher high. You could, for now, again, just for now, consider this the higher low. It's very ugly, but we're going to explain to that in just a second. And here it shifted up. And again, you can do it how I did it. You can like cover it so you can't see the future. So this right here is the higher high. Then this is the higher low. You keep it going, boom. That is now the new higher high all the way up there. And this is the higher low right here. And I want you to do this, not, so whatever, let's just finish this example. Not all the way, but let's just do this one right here. So as of right now, this is the higher high, this is the higher low. Boom, we body closed above. This is the higher high, and then the higher low goes to this point right here. Blah, 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 blah. And then you're going to realize up to this point right now where you are. So I want you guys to go and do your homework. Go and do this on Euro JPY. Go and do this on CAD JPY. Go and do this on AUD USD. Go and do this on many different markets. The more markets, the better. The more you put the work in for yourself, the more you're going to progress for yourself. The less markets you put in, the less you're going to progress. Do it for yourself. My homework to you is to do a minimum of 3. So out of all this entire watch list, find 3. Could be whichever 3 you want. I could care less. From on the 4-hour time frame to where price is almost at the end chart here, go back 28 days, use the measuring tool, get this measuring tool, you click on the live price and go left. If you notice right here, it says, boom, 28 days. So 28 days, the price action when you go up, it's at this point right here. So you can start off from this push. And then when you get here, you let me know what the market is. Is it bullish or is it bearish? You have to look at this market like this. You have to rinse and repeat it yourself. You have to see these patterns so you clearly understand them. And after you guys do this homework and you have done a minimum of 3 markets, you guys are going to be ready for the next step. If that all makes sense, type 1. If it does not, type 2. Perfect. Amazing. Actually, you know what? Fuck that. One of you guys are right. You should not go and do it on your own. Fuck that. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. Go and do these 3 markets. Go do CAD JPY. 1. Do AUD USD. And 3. Do USD CAD. These are the 3 charts you go do. Yeah, fuck that. It makes totally sense. Whoever mentioned it, thank you very much. Do CAD JPY, AUD USD, and USD CAD. These 3 pairs on the 4-hour time frame on the line chart. When we come back tomorrow, I'm going to start off by rehearsing it. And when I rehearse it, then you guys will be like, holy shit, I did it the same, or holy shit, I did it wrong. Okay? If that makes sense, type 1. If it doesn't, type 2. Just makes so much more sense that way. You know, I completely. I'm advanced. Do I still need to do this? If you believe I can do this in a split second, if you can still do it in a split second, then do it. It's a split second for you. Won't cost you much. So I'm just gonna write it down because some of you guys need me to write it down. CAD JPY, AUD USD, and the USD CAD. Go back 28 days on the line chart. That's what you have to do. That's basically it. That's it. If that makes sense, type 1. If not, type 2. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, day number 9. 9, yeah. Day number 9 has come to an end. Yes, and you're gonna do that on the 4-hour time frame. Jesus. Not like I didn't repeat myself for sure. Quotes of the day, huh? Quotes of the day. Quote of the day. Okay, I think this is gonna be good. Quote of the day. Who would have thought that a snake trick would make you so much money? Who would have thought that a snake trick would make you so much money? Only you guys will know. That makes sense, type 1. If not, put a 2. Amazing. Cool. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being parts of day number 9 inside of the 30-day bootcamp. Make sure to go watch the recording. If you don't have your candlestick set like mine, please watch the previous classes. I teach you how to do that correctly. For those of you guys that are advanced, you guys see that we're already turning up a notch. Appreciate you guys and your patience. For those of you guys that are intermediate and ready to be advanced and you're not being patient, please attempt to continue to be patient. And those of you guys are intermediates, you guys are scaling and becoming better at becoming intermediates. Your guys' homework for today is what's going to take you to that point for you to get to advance. It's going to take time. Remember 3 things: time, dedication, and patience. Guys, thank you very much for a magnificent day number 9. We had an amazing intro. Tomorrow I'm gonna see how I turn it up. But if you guys liked the intro and I got you guys hyped, let me know. Because if not, I won't even do it. You know, put a W as a W, put an L if it was an L. I don't know. I just thought about it last second. I was like, dude. So I know it's early for some people around the world. We got to get people hyped. Okay, it was a W. Okay, perfect. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. For those of you guys that didn't see it, just watch it in the recording once it's up. It's like the first 5 seconds. All right. Appreciate you guys for being part of here. Who would have thought that a snake trick can make you so much money? Or who would have thought that a snake trick would make things so fucking clear? Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to set and forgets, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care, guys. See you then.